Coming up on this blustery day edition of ATV News.
Korean dignitaries visited Brigham City to honor veterans of the Korean War. We'll tell you how our community celebrated Veterans Day.
A Hindu celebration of good versus evil. We'll tell you why they want you there.
Do you know what it takes to get a concealed weapons permit and not get in trouble? We'll keep you legal.
It looks warm today, but this wind blows. Will it warm back up, or is this just the beginning? Find out in weather.
USU football got the win over the weekend. We'll tell you what it added to the record books.
All that and more on this edition of ATV News.
Welcome to this week's edition of ATV News. I'm Bradley Wells.
And I'm Anna Thorley. A Utah State administrator is no longer working for the university after allegedly sexually assaulting a student. Marvin Roberts, the Assistant Vice President of Student Engagement and Diversity, was fired from his position nearly 2 months ago, but details of the alleged crime were made public just last Thursday. The alleged crime involved Roberts and a student that he supervised. Police have investigated the case but did not find enough evidence to prosecute Roberts, and the charges were dropped.
We weren't able to meet the facts equal to the elements of the crime in such a way that it could possibly be successfully prosecuted.
Roberts was put on leave on September 11th and terminated a week later for egregious unprofessional conduct, according to the university.
Once the details of our inquiry became clear, including information we received from Mr. Roberts himself, there was no question. It was very appropriate to terminate him. It's not something we take lightly at all.
The university has made it clear that they have a no-tolerance policy for cases like these and stand behind their actions.
You may have heard that Utah State bought Darwin Avenue, but that's not entirely true. Though the university does have plans in the works to buy Darwin Avenue, the sale has not been finalized. 2 separate contracts were recently brought before the USU Board of Trustees. These contracts stated that in exchange for buying Darwin outright, the university would give up 5 acres of unused land at 2200 North and 400 East in North Logan. The board approved these contracts. Now the Board of Regents, Utah's higher education board, will meet November 14th to make the final decision. The Herald-Journal reported that the deal had already been finalized, but USU is waiting on the Regent Board's decision. They're hoping to have the deal complete by the end of the month. University officials say they're more interested in long-term plans for Darwin based on Utah State's needs for that space in the future. For now, the university says it will remain how it is, and all current leases for housing will be honored.
Aggie Blue Bikes is once again gearing up for the holidays with their annual Sub for Santa program, and this looks to be their most successful year yet. The Sub for Santa program is where people like you donate used kids' bikes, and Aggie Blue Bikes gives them a makeover. They fix up the parts and put new ones on those that can't be fixed. Then the bikes are given a fresh coat of paint and are all ready for delivery. All of the bikes donated go to kids in needy families who can't afford presents for Christmas. This is the 9th year for the program. Since it began, they have donated 113 bikes. They started collecting donations in October and will continue through finals week. Even though they've already beat the number of bikes donated last year, they're hoping to get a few more to help as many families as possible.
This year, so far we have 26, but we're hoping to do at least 30. And we have the capacity to do it if we just don't have enough donations at this point.
If you'd like to donate to the Sub for Santa program or volunteer to help, you can call 435-797-8139 for more information.
Yesterday was Veterans Day. To kick off the week, Utah State's Air Force ROTC held a vigil in remembrance of fallen soldiers.
are starting our 24-hour POW MIA vigil in remembrance of troops everywhere.
Each one of the cadets, they just volunteered for 1-hour blocks of time so that we could take that whole ceremony from basically 5 p.m. on Thursday until 5 p.m. on Friday. It was a tangible way for our cadets to show the respect and to sacrifice a little bit of their time on behalf of those who have gone before us.
They feel it's a great honor to serve their country and to serve their community.
I just want to, I want to say thank you for, the warm welcome and the warm reception we always get around Utah State University.
Utah State is also hosting a military appreciation football game versus New Mexico this Saturday.
Continuing the week in honor of our veterans, Korean dignitaries visited Brigham City at a special event in honor of Korean war vets. 900 people watched as the Box Elder Symphonic Choir sang the national anthem and other songs for the annual patriotic program at the Brigham City Tabernacle on Sunday. Between songs, Korean vets were awarded the Ambassador for Peace medal by Korean government officials and their children. The veterans were from all branches of the military, and most said they were not expecting the award, but they said they were overwhelmed with the events of the night.
To see the looks on the veterans' faces that received this award that they've waited 60 years to receive. It was awesome, and to have the Korean government here to do that was an honor and a privilege for me as the MC of the program.
Nelson said the best part of the program was being able to teach children how important our freedom is in the United States. All over Cache Valley, you can see flags flying in honor of our veterans. We went out to show you what one business is doing and how the veterans are responding.
Texas Roadhouse gives back to all the veterans in the country. We donate a meal just to show them that we care about them, that we thank them.
I think it's fantastic to honor the veterans.
It touches me.
Oh, I think it's great the way they treat the veterans now.
It's an amazing feeling to be here to see everybody and to experience the camaraderie that happens between people who don't even know each other.
Hey, how you doing, folks? Come on in.
It's a great way to serve and give back to those who have served for so many years.
It brings a tear to my eye. Because I think about the guys that can't be here because they gave up their life, they gave it all, and they set on my heart quite a bit.
My son's still in. He's been deployed 5 times in 5 years. I think people forget there's still a war going on, and that people are still over there dying. And that, like Chris said, that weighs on me.
It's to show how much we appreciate them as a company and as a community, and I just want to say thanks.
Texas Roadhouse also plans to feed military families here in Cache Valley. They'll be collecting donations throughout the holiday season.
When we come back, which do you celebrate first? We'll tell you what stores around town are doing.
Plus, is sneaking sweets into the cinema selfish? We'll show you both sides of the story.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please,
do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
In light of recent events at Utah State University, we decided to find out what you have to do to get your concealed firearms permit. These are just some of the guns that you can keep on your person with a concealed firearms permit, but getting one requires a few things. First off, everyone must complete a class taught by a certified concealed firearms permit instructor. Here, students learn proper gun safety as well as the different types of guns they can carry. After attending the class, they are required to pass a test and prepay and pass a background check.
The Bureau of Criminal Identification does a thorough background check as far as scanning and printing their fingerprints, their photos. They check the person's name and any driver's license or social security numbers to make sure that they're not wanted for any crimes that would prevent them from having a concealed weapons permit.
Taylor said not everyone takes the class to get the permit. Some take it to learn more about gun safety. For more information on when classes are held, contact the Logan Gun Range at 1-435-753-4600. A new effort to go green has taken place on Main Street, and it's the first of its kind on a Utah State highway. Our Aaron Griffiths is live to show us what that is. Aaron?
All right, thanks, Brad. What if to fill up your car, all you had to do was find a parking spot? Well, if you've got an electric car, now you can.
Thanks to financial backing by two local businesses, Wilson Motors and Lifestyle Homes, a free electric car charging station is now available for public use on Main Street. This is the first charging station to be placed on a Utah State highway, and the project will be in a testing period for the next 12 months. If demand is high enough, there's potential for more charging stations to be added to the block.
So one of the benefits of electric vehicles is there's no carbon emissions, right? So when I'm sitting at a stoplight and everybody around me is basically idling and putting off carbon emissions, I don't put off any. And so it would be great if we had more of these in town, because then we'd protect our clean air.
All right, Cragen says that it takes about 2 hours to completely recharge his car, and that it only costs him about 40 cents per charge. So that's pretty good. All right, back to the studio.
Thanks, Aaron.
Do you like performance cars? Do you like economy cars? What about hybrid cars? BMW has a new car that is, well, all of that put together. Our Jill Hodson took to the wheel to show you what that car is.
A car unlike any other BMW. A rear 3-cylinder twin-power turbo engine, a small peephole for your back windshield, and a 10-inch flat-screen display with GPS. But that's not what makes this car. The BMW i8 is a hybrid.
You've got a gas motor that runs the back wheels, and then you've got an electric motor that runs the front wheels.
On the gas tank alone, you'll get 28 miles per gallon for combined city and highway. On electric, it's estimated at 76 mpg. Carbon fiber doors, sleek lines for decent gas mileage. The i8 is quite the looker, but the price tag of $136,000 isn't for college students.
I couldn't own this car because not enough money either.
For a college student, a more affordable car is the Toyota Corolla. It's a reliable, dirty car, good for the average student, and has the same gas mileage as the i8.
Sure, the i8 is faster, sleeker, it even has carbon fiber doors, but it doesn't have a CD player. Jill Hodson, ATV News.
The i8 is the first sports car hybrid from BMW.
What comes to mind when you think of November? Snow? Turkeys? Winter break? Our Alicia Facer went out to show how our community treats the month. Alicia?
That's right, guys. I'm in the TSC bookstore, where as you can see from behind me, the theme for this month is Christmas. Even though December is still weeks away, that didn't stop Christmas from coming. November is here, and with it comes Thanksgiving. Or Christmas, Christmas, and more Christmas. After the Halloween decorations get taken down, Christmas goes right up. For some, November is a time for Black Friday shopping and Christmas sales.
You're taking people away from their family on Thanksgiving night, and they deserve to be with their family, not standing at a cash register, helping people get an early deal on Christmas.
Most of the stores in the Cache Valley Mall are opening up at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day, but then some of those stores are closing around midnight and reopening at 6 a.m. But it's not just the decorations. Christmas music has started playing on the radio, in the Tiger Student Center, and on the Aggie Shuttle. Some stores are offering Black Friday sales each week for the whole month of November. So where does Thanksgiving fit in?
Christmas is a time for your family too, but like Thanksgiving is like when everyone gets together and like you're all thankful for each other and like for what you have and things like that. And so we're just kind of skipping over it.
Some stores have a Thanksgiving display, but it's nothing like the Christmas decorations that surround it.
I think it's really sad, and I think it's kind of pathetic that we as a society have gotten to the point where we are so excited about getting a good deal or saving $20 that we've completely forgotten about a holiday that's all about being thankful.
Walmart and Lowe's have set up Christmas tree lots, and wreaths have been hung on the lights down Main Street. Christmas is here whether we are ready or not. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Alicia. The holidays are just around the corner, and that means big blockbusters will be hitting the theaters soon. As new movies come out, theater owners have problems with outside food coming in. ATV's Brandon Fonda reveals why.
Absolutely.
Every time I go.
My mom raised me to.
Sneak candy into the movie theater?
Most people do it.
Yeah.
Big bag of Swedish fish.
Box of pizza. Already popped bags of popcorn.
Sneaking candy into movie theaters.
We just carried it between us. With the big bag or the big coat.
Is the norm.
It's all about confidence.
That's because before your movie starts at the Logan Megaplex, you can expect to pay $3 to $4 for candy. That would only cost you $1 to $2 at the gas station. A large popcorn, $6.75. A large drink, $4.50.
They charge unfair prices.
But there's a reason why theaters price higher.
What show for you guys today?
Selling popcorn is how they make money.
A Snicker and a nut roll.
At Walker Cinemas, 80% of their profit comes from concessions. But even though they have lower prices on drinks and popcorn, that still doesn't stop moviegoers from bringing outside food in.
We try and keep our prices pretty reasonable so we're not gouging you, but yet we're trying to make a profit.
But even though their popcorn, drinks, and candy are $1 to $2 cheaper than the Megaplex, it does nothing.
We did the free summer children matinees. We paid the ticket, and that was a nightmare. We had more people come in than we've ever had, but we had so much more stuff brought in. I couldn't believe it. And they didn't pay a dime to walk in the door.
So whether you save a dime or overpay by $10, Patty thinks outside food
Jerky, beef jerky.
is a permanent problem.
It frustrates me.
Out of the dozens of people we talk to, only one follows the rules.
Buying popcorn or a drink there isn't the worst thing.
For the rest of the rule breakers,
A whole bag of hot tamales.
Patty's only defense is a watchful eye.
I escorted a lady out to her car. She wanted to bring her a Subway sandwich, and we went in the rounds. And boy, I walked her physically out to her car. And she was like, I'm bringing this sandwich in. And I'm like, then you are not coming in this theater. She told me she didn't know how I sleep at night because I'm so dishonest. And wow.
Brandon Fonda.
We went the rounds over that.
ATV News.
Patty said she's tried making combo deals so families can save money, but that still doesn't stop people from bringing in outside food. So, Anna, do you sneak candy into the theaters?
Well, I feel bad because I have snuck in a Jimmy John's sandwich to a theater once, but it was a great movie. It was a great movie, made for a great experience.
That's pretty great. Well, when we come back, ATV's Misty Inglet will have your Cache Valley weather report.
The current temperature here on campus is a freezing 28 degrees.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. HSF.net.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back. So if you've been outside today, you've noticed that it's really cold out there and that wind is pretty icy. Looking at the national radar, you can see that on the west coast over here, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, everything looks pretty clear on that west coast. There's not a whole lot going on. And then as you move toward the Midwest here, when you get to Colorado and Kansas, you can see there's some light blue and some dark blue. That light blue is just really, really light rain, and the darker is a little bit heavier rain, but nothing too bad there. And then when you get down to the tip of Texas, you can see there's a lot of green down there, and that's really heavy rain, so they're getting slammed right there. On the East Coast, just down along the whole coast, there's just light patches of blue, and that's just really light rain. Nothing too serious going on right now. Let's take a look locally. So you can see here in Utah, just bare. There's nothing going on, nothing coming in towards us at all. It's pretty clear. Let's just jump to the 7-day. So taking a look at today, it's pretty sunny, but it's really cold out there. The high's only been 26, and it's going to get down to about 4 degrees tonight. But that wind chill has dropped it into the negatives, and it's going to do the same thing tomorrow. That wind chill is going to keep it in the negatives. You're going to have an 80% chance of a rain and snow mix. It's going to start out as snow and kind of go down into rain as it goes on. Same thing on Friday, 60% chance of a rain and snow mix, high at 44, low at 26. And then heading into the weekend on Saturday is when you're going to see some snow. 50% chance of snow on Saturday. It's going to get really cold at night, dropping down to 6 degrees. It's going to pick back up Sunday and get a little bit warmer. Monday, it's going to be cloudy, but still pretty warm, high in the 40s, low at 16. And then Tuesday, look out for the rain again. High at 46 and a low at 27. So that's how your forecast is looking, pretty chilly. So stay bundled up, stay inside if you can, and just stay warm.
I am pretty excited about the snow, though. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, but luckily sports are moving indoors, and we have Chris Hyde with us with more on that, right, Chris?
Right, yeah, there was some interesting sports going on, but are you experiencing some difficulty standing or dizziness? Well, then you might be a hockey player. We'll let you know how things shook out in Utah State sports.
On 3rd down and 5, a lot of time looking down the field. It's got a man open. Down the field, it's caught at the 35, at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. It's a touchdown.
You can see Kaylin Clay started celebrating a little too soon here and left the ball at the 1-yard line. Oregon didn't hesitate though and scooped it up and took it in for the 99-yard score, leaving Ute fans, well, a little shocked. Utah State football was on the road Friday evening to take on the Wyoming Cowboys in this chilly Mountain West showdown. The Aggies entered the game needing only one more win to be bowl eligible. JoJo Natson took this punt off the ground and gets to the corner here and then tight ropes the sideline as he turns on the afterburners.
And there he goes, JoJo Natson.
And finishes the 80-yard touchdown return. Freshman Kent Myers makes the right decision here on the option, giving the ball to Natson, who again finds daylight and runs it 66 yards untouched for his second touchdown of the night. The Cowboys kept things interesting though, and in the fourth quarter, Wyoming was in the red zone, but B.J. Larson snagged this tip pass, securing the Aggies' victory 20-3.
But to be a part of something that's never been done at your school, I think is a special deal. And especially when you think of year 3 last year and year 4 with all the injuries and the adversity that we continue to go through and fight through, it's a really cool deal.
With only 3 games remaining, the Aggies sit second, half of a game behind CSU. USU hosts New Mexico Saturday at 2. It was military night at Eccles Ice Rink, and the Aggies dressed for the occasion with camo jerseys. The Aggies hosted the Utes in a game that turned physical quickly, and oh my, it seems something happened to our highlights there. Oh, there it is, and Sean Gibbons shakes it off and would return later in the game, but not before this slap shot by Lane Stiers on the following faceoff. The Utes scored the next 2 goals, despite the play of goalie Keegan McHenry, who kept the match in reach, but with only minutes left, Sam Lindquist decided he better get his punches in now and sit in the penalty box for a while. Leaving the Aggies a man down for the rest of the game, the Utes would hold on to win 2-1. The Aggies are back on the ice Friday against Weber State as they try to improve on a 3-8 season. In other sports, it was a rough week, starting off with women's soccer, who was in San Diego for conference playoffs, where the Aggies took Colorado College on in the first round. After jumping to a 1-0 halftime lead, USU got dismantled, losing the match 3-1. Next, Mackenzie Davis was the first women's tennis player to ever compete in the indoor championships, but it was short-lived as she got knocked out by the 15th ranked collegiate player in 2 sets, 6-3 and 6-0. The men's basketball team played their final exhibition game Friday night against Arkansas Fort Smith. Jalen Moore fought his way through the defense here and got the sweet finger roll to go while drawing the foul. Points would be pretty hard to come by here though, as the spring-loaded Titione Dew rejected 6 shots in the game and put a serious strain on the undersized Aggies. USU made up for the poor shooting performance, however, with a little good old-fashioned hustle that earned here David Collette 2 of his 18 points with that dunk that helped the Aggies get the victory at 64-57.
We're playing really hard. I couldn't be more pleased with how hard the guys are trying. They're trying hard. We're having a hard time making shots. We're having a hard time executing.
Showed that we were playing better defense and we played harder, tried to rebound a little bit better. I mean, we have a short team compared to them too, and they're like a D2 team, you know. So we just need to keep rebounding and playing hard, and I think we'll improve and be fine.
This young Aggie team will need to be more prepared for a larger crowd on Friday as they go against the talented Weber State team.
Coming up next, you've heard of dueling banjos. Now we'll show you how dueling scientists are hoping to keep science cool at USU.
And we'll take you to the USU's Diwali Festival of Lights.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile! Dang it!
To the invisible jet!
Dang it!
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
A taste of India came to USU on Saturday night as the Indian Student Association celebrated Diwali. Let's take a look at some of the sights and sounds of the Festival of Lights.
Diwali is an Indian festival celebrated by everyone, right from Hindus, Muslims, Christians. Basically it's an Hindu event but celebrated by everyone. Celebration of good over evil.
And it's something that they celebrate each year. It's a religious holiday.
We have got a larger Indian family base here, so they are not students but they live here, they work here. We had a lot of people turn out. We had around 430 people turning up.